Hello everyone, in this video we'll be discussing the syllabus of the CPIM exam. So as discussed before also, the exam is divided into two parts, CPIM part 1 and CPIM part 2. So CPIM part 1 will be discussing more of the basics of supply chain, supply chain in general, and in detail a little bit about production planning, demand planning, S&OP planning, and it will touch base upon logistics, purchase and supply planning. And part 2 will be in-depth going off mainly of these three things: demand planning, production planning, S&OP planning, and a little bit about the logistics. So in this two slides I have put the the brief syllabus of both part 1 and part 2. So before we get into this, let me also explain how part and part 2 differs. So part 1 is almost 50% into the syllabus in terms of quantity as well as depth, and part 2 is, so when you buy the hard copy of CPM study material, CPM part 2 will have two books, and CPM part 1 will be almost half of the size of compared to part 2. And even on the difficulty level of exam, part 1 is very easy compared to part 2. So let me just quickly take you through the syllabus of part 1. So it's uh, supply chain overview, fundamentals of demand management, supply planning, execution of supply planning, inventory management, continuous improvement and quality. So this is also additional feature you'll find. Since CPM is more into manufacturing, it will talk a lot about lean methodologies, continuous improvement in terms of supply chain and also in terms of quality. Talking about part 2 syllabus, so part 2 is, as I mentioned, it goes into more detail or more depth. So how supply chain influences or affects or works on business level, strategic level, or how S&OP planning is affecting on or playing role on different levels, managing demand, supply, inventory. And in the 7 domain you also see plan and manage distribution. So it also talks about managing distribution or logistics or transportation will be discussed in detail here. And also this part 2 also ends with the continuous improvement or the technologies. So as I mentioned, I'm repeating it again. So it will give you a very good lean understanding, lean perspective of supply chain. So whenever it's written continuous improvements, it's basically about the lean methodology. So that's it for the syllabus.